Ladies and gentlemen, here we are live for the watch-along for the Matildas taking on China PR in the Women's Asian Cup semi-final. This is the big one. Almost the big one. If Australia win tonight, going through to the Cup final on Saturday in Sydney. This match being played out in Perth. We have just kicked off. And of course, two Aussie coaches, we should say, Joe Montemurro for Australia, Ante Milicic as well, another Aussie who is currently the head coach of China's women's national team, who have had a strong tournament so far. The Matildas getting past DPR Korea in the quarterfinal, which was a match that didn't necessarily, well, not that it didn't go to plan, but it obviously wasn't an easy game for Australia, that quarterfinal matchup. But the most important thing is that we are still going strong in this tournament. And here on home soil, once again, semi-final. Already secured our spot in next year's Women's World Cup after winning that quarterfinal last week. Can we keep the momentum going? So a couple interesting changes as well that we should talk about. Two key changes to the starting 11. I mean, Joe Montemurro hasn't been afraid of making changes here and there throughout the tournament. Pretty much every game, there's been some pretty big calls. But Steph Catley returning to the starting 11 is huge. We know she suffered a concussion during the final group stage game, missing out the quarterfinal. Caitlin Torpey did a fantastic job at left back, and because of her good performance in that quarterfinal, Caitlin Torpey, she's starting once again at left back, as we'll see in this game. Steph Catley at centre back. The other big change is Kyra Cooney Cross into midfield. And hello to Sam. G'day, man. I've been well, Sam. Hope you've been well too. Thanks for jumping in the live chat, mate. Thanks for joining us. 3 minutes in. Australia just looking to settle into the game. Of course, I mean, I don't think we're expecting this to be comfortable for either side, really. I mean, there is an expectation, I think, that this game could well go to extra time, potentially even a penalty shootout. But hello to everyone who's joining us here in our live watch-along. We are back for this crucial semi-final matchup. The other semi-final taking place tomorrow night, I believe. Korea Republic taking on Japan. So the winner of this game, of course, will be taking on one of those sides. And it felt like, you know, heading into this tournament, it felt like the team that we probably were going to come up against in the final was probably Japan. I mean, I remember watching them in the World Cup back in 2023, and they were just so impressive at that tournament. Some world-class players. Sam saying, I'm on cloud 9 the way the Jets have been this season. It's been incredible. It really has been incredible watching Newcastle this season. I mean, credit to them for doing so well and finding some real consistency this season as Mary Fowler. That is a phenomenal chance, and it's just wide. 4.5 minutes, and Australia could be up 1-0. Mary Fowler, great to have her back here starring for the Tillies, and she is starting once again. That's a great chance. That is a huge opportunity. This is the kind of game where there might not be many clear-cut opportunities. So, Mary Fowler, I mean, considering how close she was to goal there. That is massive. Massive for Australia. G'day, Nathan. How you going, man? Thanks for jumping in. Sam says, I think this will be a close game. I mean, apart from the Iran game, all the games have been close. Yeah, look, it hasn't been an easy tournament for Australia. Really having to work hard. And this is, I mean, being the semi-final, obviously going to be probably the toughest test we've faced so far this tournament, man. The quality of opposition has been very good. So Mary Fowler with a great chance for Australia. After 4.5 minutes. Caitlin Torpy starting once again over at left back. Caitlin forward. She's in behind. Down the left. Looked offside. The flag is up. Late flag. Hope you guys have been well, man. Thanks for jumping to the live stream. G'day, Elijah. Long time no see. That's right. It's our first live stream in some time. But Sam, Nathan, Elijah, thanks for jumping in the live chat. Anyone else tuning in, thanks for jumping in. Hit that like button, support the channel. Yeah, Sam. I mean, we're seeing a lot of these nations. I mean, across Asia, the development is really impressive to see. The quality is just getting better and better, and that's obviously what we want. What we all want. We want that competitiveness to continue to grow, and the quality of the football to continue to develop all across the world. It would say a busy night for football fans tonight, even though it's a Tuesday night. But earlier tonight, A-League men's action as well. Pretty big game. Sydney FC, Melbourne City just wrapped up just as this game kicked off. Melbourne City defeating Sydney FC in the A-League men's earlier this evening. I was watching that game as I was setting up for this live stream. That is a big win. That is a huge 3 points for Melbourne City, who have had a bit of a shaky A-League men's season this campaign. Sydney FC still in a pretty comfortable position on the ladder, but suffering from a little bit of inconsistency at the moment. And their position in the top 6 is not guaranteed at this stage. Nathan says, I saw you at the Mariners game, mate, and Ollie has helped the Mariners. Yeah, dude, it's been great. It's been great seeing the resurgence of the Central Coast Mariners, since the transfer window. Let's come back to that because China are in behind. Great chance. It's a shot on target, but Arnold is behind it. They got him behind a bit too easily there, sort of found some space on the left wing. But Mackenzie Arnold, who's been very good this tournament. Arnold obviously didn't start the first couple of games. Chloe Lincoln was in. Good save there from Arnold. But yeah, man, just go back to the mighty Central Coast Mariners. The January transfer window has completely turned the season around for Mariners. Some top signings, and obviously Central Coast currently sitting in the top 6 in the A-League men's competition, which is great to see as a Mariners fan, rocking the current season, the members cap for the current season here tonight. So, this game being played over at Perth Stadium, Optus Stadium, I believe it's called. 6 p.m. local time kickoff. The stadium certainly doesn't look completely full. I mean, really strong crowd, don't get me wrong. It doesn't appear to be completely full, but still a very, very strong contingent of fans in the stadium over on the west coast of Australia, Western Australia. The final being played in Sydney this Saturday. Hopefully Australia there. G'day, Pippet, who asks, do you think Central Coast Mariners will hold on and get finals? I think so. I think what Mariners have shown in the last month or so is just like resilience, defensive resilience, and teeing it up with a bit of flair in attack. And, the likes of Nathaniel Blair and Ollie Laval, Sabitnior, Ali Oglar, another new signing for the Mariners. It's just been great to see the attack really starting to click in recent weeks. But look, Mariners, throughout this whole season, Mariners have really tightened up in defense. Obviously, there's been games where we have conceded goals, but compared to last season, it feels a lot more steady at the back. So look, I'm not expecting Mariners to charge deep into the top 6. It might be a matter of sneaking into 6th spot, but I'll take that. Heading into this season, no one expected Mariners to be anywhere near the top 6. Even as a Mariners fan myself, I thought it was going to be a difficult campaign, but with that mid-season transfer window, the club made some really smart signings, and they've just helped massively. Massively. G'day, Frenzied Rabbit. He lives indeed. Yeah, Pippa. I mean, yeah, I can't see Mariners pushing any higher than 6th. I mean, considering how competitive it is, I mean, Victoria there, Sydney, Adelaide. Look, Mariners played Adelaide on the weekend, a 1-1 draw there. If Mariners had defeated Adelaide, just closing the gap there, I probably would have said that maybe Mariners could have jumped into 5th, maybe Adelaide to slip to 6th, but still a few weeks to go in the A-League men's regular season, so we'll keep an eye on what happens. A couple weeks to go in the A-League women's season as well, which, I mean, the ladder for the A-League women's this season has been absolutely incredible. You get 1 or 2 wins, and all of a sudden you jump right up the ladder. G'day, Tardley. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Yes, this is our first live stream in a long time, so I appreciate you guys jumping in and saying g'day. It's good to be back. That's for sure. Great to see plenty of comments and questions coming in. Frenzy Rabbit says, as bad as a few teams near the bottom have been, the congestion down the bottom of the league is a good watch, actually. And I'm actually impressed how many points 12th place has. Yes. Like this past weekend in the A-League men's, I mean, Wellington Phoenix as China, good block by Kennedy. China got into the box once again. There's going to be a corner coming up for China PR. But yeah, just to go back to that A-League discussion, I mean, Wellington Phoenix defeated Perth Glory on the weekend, and all of a sudden they jumped up a couple spots and feels like that maybe they could be in finals contention. So yeah, man, I mean, you look at those teams towards the bottom, Wellington, Perth, Western Sydney Wanderers, who have obviously had a disappointing campaign, a few wins to end the season, and all of a sudden they could be there. They could be in the conversation for finals. So, just to go back to my Mariners perspective, I think it's important that Central Coast Mariners do just maintain some consistency, maintain the results from here on out. Otherwise, they could slip out. The corner in from China, it's Catley who heads away at the near post. Australia having to do a bit of defending. Good cross again. And the follow-up shots, Mackenzie Arnold has it in her grasp. We are almost 14 minutes into this semi-final. And China have had a few attempts at goal now, but Mackenzie Arnold has been there to keep things calm at the back. Coming forward again, China. Good cut back to the edge of the box. Kennedy's trying to cover the gaps. Gory there. The Matildas doing well to get plenty of numbers behind the box. And Sam Kerr's been released here. Let's see what happens here. Gory's through the middle. There we go. Come on. Mary Fowler runs into a defender. It was almost on there. It was almost on. Tanley says, I hope the Socceroos squad announcement will be this week. I mean, it could well be. Yeah, sometimes it's on a Friday. So sometimes it has been on a Friday in the past. So maybe keep an eye on Friday. Thanks for jumping in, Nathan. Thanks for jumping in the live chat tonight. Good to see you. Pippard as well saying that, especially compared to 4 to 5 weeks ago, looked like that they would finish bottom 3. But all of a sudden, they look favourites for finals, I say, competing with City. Yeah, dude, I mean, even with Melbourne City winning tonight against Sydney FC, I mean, they're right back in the conversation for finals, of course, as they should be, Melbourne City. If out of all those teams currently in the bottom 6 in the A-League men's, I mean, Melbourne City, I think, would be the biggest shock to miss out. Just considering the squad they have. I mean, yeah, they've been juggling Asian Champions League elite, but that's done now. Full focus on the A-League. Some huge weeks coming up. Some big weekends coming up across the A-League men's and women's. Of course, the Women's Asian Cup final this Saturday. Soccer is in action in a couple weeks' time. A couple of friendly matches. The FIFA series, I believe it is. Here's Carpenter down the right. Good release by Fowler. Ellie Carpenter's had a good tournament. Fowler's in behind, cutting back. Great chance. Oh, there it is. Caitlin Ford with the finish. Australia lead. Brilliant stuff. That was really, really nice play from the Tillies. And credit has to go to Mary Fowler, especially just for the initial release, the pass down the wing for Carpenter, and then continued the run. Got into the box. It was on the halfway line. Fowler with the initial pass. Carpenter away down the right. And then Fowler just like no one tracking the run of Mary Fowler. And how smart is that? I mean, Mary Fowler, who could have probably tempted just to go direct straight to Sam Kerr, who had like 3 defenders around her. But Caitlin Ford, who was just an elite level winger, running into the space. And that is a great finish. That is a great finish. And it's Australia who lead in this semi-final. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Early goal for Australia. That was pretty much our second chance of the game. I mean, Fowler had a great chance after 4 minutes, but Caitlin Ford, that is a wonderful goal. A very satisfying goal. That really worked out nicely. A really nice passing move down the wide position. Loving it. Fredzy Rabbit with a comment a moment ago regarding the Socceroos says, I'm dreading the Socceroos squad announcements. There's undoubtedly some really hard choices to make, and there's no way around deserving players not making the cut. Lots of competition. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's been for Socceroos all across the world. It's been an up and down season. It's been a great season for some. It's been a difficult season for others. And I'm very curious to see the squad that Popovic announces. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some surprises. Tanley asks, who do we want for the final, Japan or South Korea? I mean, both are really difficult. Both are difficult. But, I was talking about Japan earlier. Heading into this tournament, Japan were the one team that I was like, anyone's going to win it. That's not Australia. I could see Japan going all the way. So, but either way, dude, it's going to require Australia to be at their absolute best to win. And if we can get past China here, that's the first hurdle before getting to the final. Shot coming in. Good save again from Arnold. That's like a 4th save of the game already. We're not even 20 minutes in. Got over to her left well. Curling shot from range. So, it is a 1-0 lead for Australia. Thanks for joining our live watch along today. Jump in the live chat. Say g'day. How are you guys going? If you have any questions on anything Matildas related. Socceroos coming up and, of course, the A-Leagues. Jump in the live chat. Say g'day. There's a whole lot going on at the moment. Football never sleeps. Okay. Frenzy Rabbit, going back to that question about who we'd rather face in the final if we do get through. Frenzy Rabbit says, yeah, South Korea, Japan, other hard teams to beat, but so are we. That's right. Get to keep that belief. So we're a good side, man. I mean, you look at this team, dude. We've got the lineup here on the live watch along. Fowler off the right, Ford off the left. Elite players. Sam Kerr leading the line. Great to see Cooney Cross. This is a feature tonight. This is her first start. does look like I thought maybe she was going to play as like the 10 there, as the attacking midfield. It does look like Cooney Cross is playing a bit deeper. Katrina Gorry playing as that more advanced midfielder by the looks of things. But of course, the Joe Montemurro midfield, we tend to see those three players rotate around quite a lot. Of course, the other big change in defence tonight, Steph Catley back into the side, which is no surprise if she's fit. Steph Catley, she's going to play. But it's Winona Heatley who drops out, which is unfortunate for her. Heatley's been great for Australia, not just in this tournament, but over the last year or so. She's been very good playing over at AS Roma. So, it's a matter of just maintaining control of this game. Australia have the lead on the scoreboard, which is enormous, considering it's still relatively early on in this contest. But how did China respond as well? Do they really go for it here? Do they try and equalise early on as Gorry wins a free kick in the middle of the park? I mean, the squad depth is feeling really good at the moment as well for Australia. It feels like, as I was saying earlier, I mean, Joe Montemurro has pretty much every game. You know, he's made a couple of changes here and there every game. So, but we feel really strong every game, going into every game, regardless of who's on the pitch. So the squad depth is feeling good, man. It's looking good. Gorry through the middle, just losing it. Okay. Look, that right side combination worked so well for that goal. I think that's what Joe Montemurro was probably really excited about. They're thinking of that right side combination of Carpenter and Fowler. You've got Mary Fowler, who probably would like to drift inside a bit more. You got Ellie Carpenter, who's, of course, so effective, sprinting down that right-hand touchline. And when Australia are in possession, we are seeing that Carpenter really pushing up and staying wide. Oh, here's a moment here at the back for Australia. China's in behind. Great chance. Oh no. Oh no, it's a pen. Arnold has tripped up the attacker. It's a yellow card. And it's going to be a penalty for China. They got in behind so easily. I mean, is there maybe a question of offside? I mean, was it indeed a trip? Ooh! Oh no, that dude. There doesn't appear to be much contact at all. I don't think there's any contact. I think VAR is going to have to intervene here. This is clear and obvious error is the terminology, and the replays. That is a clear and obvious error. That is as minimal as it gets when it comes to contact. Wowee, that has to be overturned. And it cannot be my Australian bias talking here. That's incredible. There is virtually no contact at all. Is this not even checked? Mackenzie Arnold shaking her head. This has to be checked and overturned. It's quite clearly not a penalty. The decision stands. The referee hasn't even been called over. Wow. So Arnold stepping up on the goal line. China with a chance to equalise from the penalty spot 25 minutes in. It's a goal. China equalise in controversial circumstances. I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to see some more angles, some more replays of that foul. To be fair, Mackenzie Arnold, I mean, the timing probably, like the timing wasn't great. Obviously, disappointing Claire Hunt just making that mistake at the back. The contact is, I mean, watching it over and over again, I'm not sure if there's any contact at all. I don't know what you guys think. Pivot says, looks like she ran into the keeper. I mean, it appeared like that, but I don't even know if there's any contact at all. And if you look at the outside foot of China's player there, I don't know, man. And I try. I don't want to be biased. I try not to be biased. As Caitlin Ford has been completely wiped out here, and she's down on the floor. But I'm surprised as well. I felt seeing that first replay. I felt pretty confident the VAR were going to intervene there because it looked like a pretty clear and obvious error. But I mean, the VAR were convinced that there was enough contact there to warrant a penalty, which is fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Controversial for sure, Pippet. Oh boy. Tanley says, I hope we get South Korea final. Repeat of 2015. Yes, of course. That was the men's Asian Cup. And of course, Australia winning on that occasion, as we know. Pippet asked the question a moment ago as well. Who's going to win the A-League? Auckland or Newcastle? I've got Auckland winning it barely. I have a feeling they will scrape it. But in finals, anything will happen. I was thinking about this actually just over the weekend. After, obviously, an incredible game. Auckland winning against Newcastle. Top of the table clash, which just really shakes up the race for the Premier's Plate. I feel like Newcastle might just hold on and get it, which is, pains me to say, being a Central Coast Mariners fan. But when it comes to a final series, I've got a feeling Auckland are going to win the final series. I think Auckland have got enough to win the championship. I was thinking about it lately. Sometimes when we see teams jump into final series for when they've maybe not been there for some time, when that happens, not always, but they can sometimes struggle. I remember when Mariners got into the final series, it took us a couple attempts to really go deep into the final series. That was, back in like 2020 and 2021, 22, losing elimination finals. I've got a feeling Auckland. I just think after Auckland's experience last season of crashing out in the semis, losing that second leg home semi to Melbourne Victory, they know what it's like to win a Premier's Plate. They want to win a championship, dude. I think Auckland will win the championship. Look, I think Newcastle may well hold on for the Premier's Plate, which would be a huge achievement for that club. But I've got a feeling about Auckland in the final series. As Fowler shoots long range on target, though. G'day, Owen. Good to see you here, mate. Hope you're doing well. When it comes to the Premier's Plate in the A-League men's, it does feel like it's a two-horse race at the moment with Newcastle and Auckland up there. It's got to be one of those sides, surely. Especially with Sydney losing tonight, that sort of really puts a dent in their premiership hopes, premiership aspirations. Alrighty. Huge semi-final matchup here in Perth. Half an hour into this contest. China 1, Australia 1. Caitlin Ford with a very nice goal to open the scoring. China equalising from the penalty spot. It's been a relatively even contest so far. I haven't looked at the stats, but I imagine China probably have more shots on goal. Quick glance on it. Not on FOTMob. I don't know the stats. China, it feels like China have certainly had more attempts at goal, that's for sure. Owen, of course, being a Bulls fan, great to see here, Owen. And Owen says, I think MacArthur will win the A-League. First team to win it without finishing top 6. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something, mate? Oh, MacArthur. Dude, I feel like MacArthur always do this. They always seem to fizzle out towards the end of the season. I watched their game against Melbourne Victory on Sunday evening. That 4-1 loss for MacArthur. I mean, for the Bulls, if after with the Asian Champions League 2, with them, getting knocked out early on in the knockout stage, and then for them to miss out on finals as well, if they were to miss out on finals, that's got to be viewed as a pretty disappointing campaign. Especially considering that, a lot of people, myself included, had high hopes, high expectations of the Bulls heading into this season. I thought they had built a pretty good squad. Obviously, Mitch Duke coming in mid-season as well was a top signing. But they just haven't been able to deliver the results, especially lately. Really struggling with form, eh? It's been hasn't been great for MacArthur. So China with a good spell of possession here, and Australia pinned back. Long ball in for China. Bounces out for a goal kick. So it's important that the Matildas don't let their heads drop here, as they've conceded from that penalty spot. China have been very, very strong in this tournament so far. Australia have been good as well, of course. And we said it at the top of the stream. Would not be surprised if this game does go into extra time, considering how fairly evenly matched these two teams are. But look, considering Australia are the home team, surely we can overcome this challenge. Pretty interesting that Australia are wearing their away kit tonight. I know that they're technically the away team, and when in regards to like how the teams are listed, China are first and then Australia. But I mean, there's no color clash. China wearing their red kit, so surely the Tillies could have worn their green and gold. Fowler edge of the box. Shot blocked this time. But again, we're seeing this common thread occurring. Mary Fowler coming inside, finding a bit of space. Billy Carpenter overlapping on the wing. Haven't really seen Caitlin Torpey get too far up the field on that left-hand side. Australia seem to be favouring that right-hand side. Here's a good chance for Australia. I mean, we've got it in a good area, knocking it around well. Gorry, another foul committed here. It's going to be a yellow card, actually, for the China defender who came in with some pretty strong contact on Gorry. Yellow card shown. Replay. Ooh! Oh, my goodness. Certainly a yellow card. I didn't realize how high up the leg that challenge was. Wang Aifeng with the yellow card for China there. That was a pretty high up the calf there on Katrina Gorry. Bit of a painful one for the Aussie midfielder. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Live watch along for this very important semi-final matchup. The Tillies, one game away from the final. Pippet, a moment ago, said I was looking back at your 25-26 predictions, and you put Adelaide bottom. Me, being the confident Adelaide fan I am, said in the live they should be higher, and I guess I was right. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's every season the A-League just proves to us that it's just the hardest league to predict. It's just impossible. I mean, some of my predictions are just way off. Don't even get me started with Western Sydney Wanderers, dude. Oh, goodness me. Yeah. It's so difficult to predict. I mean, it'll be interesting come the end of this A-League season, looking back at my ladder prediction that I did many months ago now and comparing it to what we end up with. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very fascinating. Very fascinating. Hit that like button. Support the channel, folks. Appreciate you joining us here for our, what is our first live stream in some time. We are back with the live watch along. 1-1 in the semi-final, evenly balanced. Certainly not an open, free-flowing game. There's been a lot of stoppages. A lot of halts in play. Will we see any goals from here through to the end of the first half? Plenty of goal threat for Australia. This front three, just so dangerous. Fowler, Kerr, Ford. Obviously, Mary Fowler just recently returning from injury. Starting the last few games now for the Tillies. Plenty of options on the bench. I mean, Joe Montemurro is spoilt for choice in regards to changes. If he would like to make some changes, there's plenty of options there. China trying to break through the middle. Plenty of Aussie defenders back. You can see Caitlin Ford, Mary Fowler, the two wide players for Australia, staying pretty high when they can. So the counter-attack is certainly looking like a real option, a real outlet for Australia. Let's see if we can muster a bit of momentum here. 38 minutes have ticked by in this semi-final. It's 1-1. It's been okay. It's been all right. Let's see if we can just maintain some. Here we go. Caitlin Ford, good run. Good defending in the end. Beat a couple of players though, Caitlin Ford. Trying to break into that front third. It was a nice initial pass by Steph Catley. But China are looking good in this game as well. Very, very strong in this first half. This feels like a really fascinating period of the game as we are getting closer to the end of the first half. Both teams keeping it pretty conservative at the moment. Nothing too risky. That's a good ball in behind China down the right-hand side. Claire Hunt has just missed a tackle, but is there to make the clearance. But again, China doing well to get in behind. Once again, another long cross coming in. And that's a goal kick. So, it's certainly the opposition that are looking more threatening here. Getting into some good areas, looking dangerous. Good run in behind a moment ago there. The Matildas defense really having to work hard for most of this first half here. And it's not just the back four of Carpenter, Hunt, Catley, Torpy. It's Kennedy, it's Cooney Cross, it's Gorry in that midfield three as well, who are having to get back to defend. Again, it appears to be Cooney Cross who's maybe playing a little bit deeper tonight. I was half expecting to see Kyra Cooney Cross perhaps play as that more advanced attacking midfielder, but Katrina Gorry is almost just playing just behind Sam Kerr in that number 10 role. 5 minutes before the break. Might have a bit of injury time. Claire Hunt, Steph Catley, tonight's centre-back partnership. I don't mind it. I do feel sorry for Winona Heatley missing out after she's been pretty good this tournament. Ellie Carpenter trying to get on the end of this ball. Again, Shana there to clean things up at the back. Australia back in possession in the forward half. Kyra Cooney-Cross looking for her Arsenal teammate in Caitlin Ford, unable to connect. Come on, Aussie. Come on, Australia. Fowler. Ball over the top for Kerr. Just far too much power on it in the end, but I like the idea. Mary Fowler is looking like one of Australia's most dangerous players tonight, just with little pockets of space that she's finding, but she's under a lot of pressure whenever she's on the ball. Credit to China, who are doing very well defensively as well in this game. Stick around halftime. We'll talk all things Matildas, Socceroos, A-Leagues. A lot going on at the moment in Australian football. Lobbed over the top. China almost in behind again here. Catley does very well to get back. That was nice. Looked really worrying for a moment, but Steph Catley, an experienced defender, and now an experienced central defender in recent times. So accustomed to seeing Steph Catley being deployed at left fullback for Australia. But we know over at Arsenal and now in recent times for Australia, being deployed as a more central defender. Versatile Steph Catley. A lot of these players in the squad very versatile, as we know. Alana Kennedy, I mean, she's been incredible in this midfield role. 5 goals this tournament from defensive midfield, just incredible. Alana Kennedy, she's been one of the highlights of this tournament with her 5 goals and overall really good general play from defensive midfield. Bit of a mix-up at the back here. Steph Catley appearing to apologise to her teammates after sending a pass. It's a rare mistake. It's very, very rare that you see Steph Catley make an error like that, and Claire Hunt couldn't get on the end of the pass. And feels like it's very, very important that the Matildas just hold on here at the end of the first half. Just maintain this scoreline, I reckon, for the rest of this half. Hold China just to the 1 goal. And then reassess at the break. I was wondering whether Joe Montemurro might be tempted to make some changes at the break. I don't think so. Tan Lee says, is it me or is the Women's Asian Cup, does it feel shorter? Well, I guess in regards to the tournament duration, here we go. Here's a chance for Australia almost. Caitlin Ford through the middle. Just couldn't get on the end of Kerr's pass. But yeah, Tan Lee, just to your question there. I mean, there's only 12 teams in this tournament, hey? And there was no round of 16, straight to the quarterfinals. So yeah, in regards to like the length of the tournament, it is certainly a bit short, isn't it? Hopefully, the tournament size can continue to grow because 12 teams just feels too small, doesn't it? G'day, Leo Senna. Welcome, mate. Welcome. I've certainly taken a long break, haven't I? I've been here. I've been watching football. Taking a break from making the content. But this would be our first live watch along for some time. But yeah, very excited to be back here live for this big semi-final matchup. We've got 3 minutes added on, by the way. China won. Australia won. I'll take the scoreline heading into the break. Joe Montemiro, I'm sure, would have learnt a lot from this first period. Now Australia with a throw-in in the forward half. In towards forward. Good defensive header. If we could snatch a goal late in this first half, that would be it would actually be enormous. Just to change the vibes at halftime a bit. Hunt with a switcher play to forward on the left. Force backwards. Given away. China moving forward with a bit of pace all of a sudden. One minute to go in this first half. Very fascinating contest. Great goal from Australia early on. Coming forward with a superb finish. And then, again, I think it's fair to say it's a controversial penalty decision in the end. But it was well dispatched and China equalised soon after. So, a massive second half coming up. And of course, if it's still level, we will go to extra time and then penalty shootout. Such a big game, Australia. Desperate to get through to the final on home soil. Now, we've ticked past the 3 minutes. It looks like we're still playing on. China have a thrown in a great position, but is the whistle gone? Looks like it has. So it is 1-1 at the break. Caitlin Ford with a goal for Australia. Not a bad half from the Matildas, but it feels like that we just need a bit more control. We need to dictate the play a bit more, I think, just to make things a bit more comfortable for us. Been under pressure at the back a fair bit in this first half. 45 minutes have gone. Another 45 on the way, potentially even more. What do you guys make of that first half? And if you have any questions on anything related to Australia football, we've got the Socceroos in action very soon as well. The A-Leagues heading into crunch time in the coming weeks as well. I'm going to go top up my water. See you guys in a minute. Throw your comments and questions in the live chat. We are rocking some old school jerseys in the backdrop today. Couple Australia jerseys that I'm pretty sure are from 2006. Which for me, I don't know about you guys, but that was probably the first year that I remember really getting into the Socceroos at least. That 2006 World Cup when I was a wee youngster back then. Alrighty. Owen said, not a bad half. Yeah, that's how I feel. It wasn't a terrible half by any stretch for Australia. There were some good moments going forward. I thought Mary Fowler was getting into some good pockets of space, had a great chance after just 4 minutes, which maybe she should have converted. She was right in front of goal, really. But yeah, man. Defensively, it's just got to make sure we try and get rid of some of those mistakes, some of those errors, because it feels like if we give China just a little bit of space, the tiniest chance, the tiniest opportunity, they will take it. They will take it. Leo Senna says, you must be happy with the Mariners' good form. Dude, it's been quite incredible as a Mariners fan, rocking the 2025-26 members cap here tonight. Yeah, it's been great to see this turnaround from the Mariners. I tell you what, it's the January transfer window. Making some of those key signings has really turned our season around. It's been huge. Absolutely huge. So, very, very happy with how the mighty Mariners are tracking. Some big matches coming up for every side in the A-League, who are still in, everyone's still in final contention. And can Mariners hold on to 6th spot? I'm backing us to do it. I do believe Mariners can, but yeah, man. I mean, obviously every side in that bottom 6 can still push up into a finals position. Let's try and find some stats for that first half. I want to know how it's looking. So, going to the stats on Google, China PR reportedly have had 9 attempts on goal, 4 of those on target. Australia with just 4 shots, 2 on target. Australia have had 62% possession. There you go. 1 yellow card for Australia. That, of course, was to Mackenzie Arnold. China have picked up 2 yellow cards in that first half. Only 1 corner in that whole first half. China with the 1 corner. But yeah, man, it was a bit stop and start. 10 fouls all up in total. It was a little bit stop and start. But interesting to see that Australia did have majority of the possession. I didn't realise it would be that one way. We saw, it was incredible, the quarterfinal match. Australia, not having much possession at all and only managing a few shots and conceding so many shots as well. So we're seeing a similar thing here, not to that extent in the quarterfinal, but yeah, the opposition once again having more shots. But on this occasion, Australia, the Tillies, managing to maintain possession, most of the possession at least. So it is, what's the time, folks? Over broadcasting here, for me at least, on the east coast of Australia, 9:55 p.m, which would make it 6:55 p.m. local time in Perth. It's obviously been a lot of travel for the Australian team in this tournament, starting over in Perth at this stadium, and then to Gold Coast, and then to Sydney. That was just the group stage. And then back to Perth for both the quarterfinal, semi-final, and whoever goes through from this game will have to head back over to Sydney. So, yeah, plenty of trips on the aeroplane for this Australia squad, and hopefully they are indeed making the trip over to Sydney for this weekend. Again, dude, on the broadcast, they're showing replays of this penalty call. I don't know, dude. It's a bit strange. I felt like there would have been more, appeals and protests from the Australian players, because it looked to me like that was, surely VAR should have intervened with that penalty decision, because it didn't look like much contact at all. Mackenzie Arnold obviously was shaking her head afterwards, but yeah, man. It's a big moment. It might come back to really define this game, that penalty decision. Oh, boy. The other semi-final is being played tomorrow night. between Korea Republic and Japan. Valhoon's in the live chat as well. G'day, mate. Good to see you here. Leia Senna says, I sense a Mariners in Sydney grand final. Dude, I mean, that would be a surprise, I think. Especially given that Newcastle and Auckland have been probably the two best teams this season. But hey, anything can happen. As you say there, Leia Senna 23. It is indeed probably the most unlikely grand final. I mean, there's probably other grand finals that are even more unlikely. When you're looking at, the likes of, some of those other teams in the bottom six who maybe could still charge up. I mean, you look at like Western Sydney Wanderers, Wellington Phoenix, Perth Glory, all those teams can still play finals football this season. Anything can happen. That's why we love the A-League, dude. That's why we love it. Second half just around the corner. So, big question for Australia head coach Joe Montemuro. Does he make any changes at the break? You're looking at the lineup, and I mean, Torpy hasn't really sort of managed to get high up the park all that much, but that's probably her instruction. We're seeing Carpenter as sort of the fullback who's getting the most forward. Just wonder whether maybe Van Egmond might be introduced into midfield. Kyra Cooney-Cross is her first start of the tournament. Hayley Rasso is on the bench as well, which is great to see. She missed out the last couple of games with concussion, so Hayley Rasso is back in the mix, which is awesome. And even whether we look at maybe bringing in Winona Heatley into defence, maybe a reshuffle there at the back. Claire Wheeler, I thought she was good in the first couple of games. Wouldn't mind seeing her come into the side. There's a bunch of players we haven't seen too much of this tournament. I mean, Michelle Heyman's had limited minutes this tournament. Charlie Rule started one game. Again, we haven't really seen much of McNamara, Remy Simpson, Alex Chidiak, Carly Johnson. Amy Sayer, she could be another player to come in, another versatile attacking player. But I'd be surprised to see any changes, I think, at the break. Leia 723 says, I remember you predicting Sydney 9th place. Dude, I mean, all my predictions are so way off, aren't they? Like, I don't think that there's anyone that's close, that's remotely close. Maybe like Auckland. I think Auckland and Melbourne Victory are probably the two predictions that I got somewhat close. But like, aside from that, everyone's like way off. But yeah, man, I mean, credit to Sydney, who have been better than I expected this season. I thought after last season, and I thought their squad last season was a lot stronger than this season. And the fact that they missed out on the top 6 last year, I was like, I wasn't expecting them to jump up the ladder, but they have. They have. Sydney FC did play tonight. Did pick up a loss to Melbourne City, which puts a dent in their premiership hopes. Quick glance at the A-League ladder. Sydney FC is still third, dude. Still third. But Adelaide and Victory are both just 1 point behind Sydney FC as it stands. Should be comfortably in the top 6, though, you'd imagine Sydney FC. They are still 8 points clear of Melbourne City, who are down in 7th. But it's crazy looking at the A-League men's ladder. Auckland, there's a 6-point gap now that has opened up. A real chasm has opened up between the top 2 and the rest of the top 6. Between 2nd and 3rd. 6 points separating Auckland and Sydney FC. So, yeah, it certainly feels like it's between Newcastle and Auckland in regards to that Premier's Plate. Who will it be? Who will it be? It is crazy, isn't it? I'm sure you guys have seen for the remainder of this A-League men's season. Both Newcastle and Auckland. It's just crazy coincidence. Both have the same opponents from here on out to the end of the season. The exact same opponents, which is quite something. Quite something. So, second half of this Women's AFC Asian Cup semi-final is just around the corner. Evenly balanced at 1-1. Australia had more of the possession in that first half, but it's a matter of trying to create some more opportunities. Just got to try and keep the ball a little bit better when pushing forward. China have been really good at shutting us down really quickly once we get anywhere near that final third. So what can we do to be a bit more effective going forward? May have to rely on the counter-attack a bit more. Next semi-final being played tomorrow night between Korea Republic and Japan. And then the final itself this Saturday evening in Sydney at Stadium Australia, Olympic Park. And of course, regardless of who's going to be in that final, I'm sure it will be a massive attendance, surely a sellout. As the second half is about to kick off, the teams are back on the pitch. Question marks in regards to whether we'll see any changes. Again, I don't think we're expecting to see anything. We'll keep an eye on the players returning to the field of play. Mary Fowler and Ellie Carpenter are there. They were looking good down the right-hand side. Combining well. May well be the same starting 11 to kick off this second half. China's head coach, of course, is an Aussie in Ante Milicic, who was previously head coach of the Matildas at one point. Recently had a head coach role in the A-League men's competition as well with MacArthur SC. But the second half is underway, folks. Thanks for joining us for our live watch-along here tonight. My name's Lockie. This is Oswald Football. And this is our first live stream in a number of months, actually. We are back for this semi-final. So I do really appreciate you being here for this. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Jump in the live chat. Say g'day. What are your expectations? What are your predictions for this second period? Will we be going to extra time? As Australia, a bit of a mix-up in the left fullback position. Caitlin Torpey unable to keep the ball in play. Joe Montemuro, there's a shot of him on the sideline. He's looking a bit frustrated. And that's the thing. I mean, I said it at the halftime break. We can't really afford to make these like little mistakes at the back because China will capitalize on those errors. G'day, Callum. Timer, will you give me a little reminder there? Thanks, mate. We are into this second half. How do Australia approach this second half? Can we try and get... I mean, haven't seen too much of Sam Kerr in this game. Can we try and get her a bit more involved as Claire Hunt is wrestling to try and hold the forwards of China back? Eventually we get it clear. Leia Son of 23 as well, saying, glad to see Fowler and Kerr back. Yeah, dude, absolutely. It was great to see that we have pretty much a fully... I'm trying to think now if there's any players. Obviously, no Tegan Micah in the squad. She would certainly be there, you'd imagine, right? But, yeah, there's a trying to remember if there's any key players that are missing through injury. We've got like pretty much a full-strength squad, eh? Jump in the live chat, remind me if any players I might be missing. Apologies. But yeah, obviously, you know, Sam Kerr returning this season. And Mary Fowler back starting. Great to see. And this is what it's all about, man. These major tournaments. And Australia, the World Cup 2023 on home soil, getting all the way to the semi-finals. So disappointing to lose to England. I was in the stadium for that game 2.5 years ago. An incredible goal from Sam Kerr on that evening. But Australia losing to England on that night in Sydney. And then obviously that really disappointing Olympics campaign. And Australia, under Joe Montemurro, have looked pretty good. Have been building really, really well. I think over the last... Well, Joe Montemurro, his first game's in charge, I believe we're around the midway through last year. So it hasn't even been a full year for Joe Montemurro, but he's implemented his playing style pretty well, and these players, I think, have really adapted to it really well, in my opinion. Sam Kerr has the ball. Hasn't had too many touches of possession. Gorry sending it out to the left. Caitlin Ford, here we go. Into the box. Good run. Crossing it. Plenty of defenders in the way. Trying to get it clear. Torpy. Nicely done. Gorry. And it's finally cleared away. But that's what we want to see, dude. Caitlin Ford, who is just unstoppable on her day. Going one-on-one against defenders. So, can we try and get our dangerous attacking players into those positions a bit more regularly? That is what we want to see. Mary Fowler on the right. Caitlin Ford on the left. We have seen those players change wings at times throughout this tournament. But you know, it does feel like it's probably the best setup to have Fowler on the right, Ford off the left. Leo Senna with a comment here regarding Harrison Devonish Mears deserves a Socceroos call-up in the future. He's been great. He's been great this season, hasn't he? Being a Sydney FC fan, Leo Senna, I'm sure you're very happy with Devonish Mears. He's come up with some incredible saves this season for Sydney. And yeah, honestly, with his form, he's probably in with a chance to be in the Socceroos squad for March, honestly. That may well be announced over the next week or so. Because he's probably been the best keeper in the A-League. He's definitely in the conversation this season. Here's a chance for Australia. Can we release it? Carpenter's got space on the right. Come on, let's move it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Carpenter has to go backwards. Just got to go, like, there was a split second there, just a moment ago, where it looked like we had, like, a clear route down the right wing that had just suddenly had opened up. And just needed to move the ball maybe a little bit faster to release Carpenter down the right. She's really getting high up the pitch, which of course we are, have grown accustomed to seeing Ellie Carpenter as, her work rate is just immense. Okay. Arnold goes to the left, forward. That'll be an Aussie throw-in in a good position. Forward. Here we go. Just getting crowded out China getting too many defenders in the road. Still in possession, Australia. They can't keep it in, though. Yeah, it feels like we're just getting, like, swarmed by defenders every time we push into the final third. Really struggling to sort of to do our thing as we push forward. Katrina Gorry just coming through there and just booting the ball out of play. No nonsense stuff. Such a fantastic team, man. You look at this starting 11, so much quality, so much experience. A team that is certainly capable of winning this semi-final tie. 53 minutes gone by. 1-1. Not too many clear-cut opportunities in this second half so far. Joe Montemuro. He's currently on the broadcast. Looking, thinking, assessing what to do next. Does he make a change? Does he tweak the tactics to try and get this Australia team back into this contest? Well, I shouldn't say back into the contest, just maybe a bit more control in this contest. Catley, well, there's no players in midfield for Australia on that occasion. China send a ball forward. And we've got numbers at the back. Again, just got to try and get these little errors, these like wayward passes. Just got to try and get them out of the game. It's not really helping us. Kennedy, Kerr, again, just a little bit sloppy. China back in possession. Down the right-hand side, Catley will deal with it. G'day, Beta. Welcome. He's back. Guess who's back? Thanks for jumping in the live chat, mate. Hope you're doing well. This is our first live stream in many months. Many months, I believe. It's good to be back. Good to be live for what is an enormous occasion, this semi-final in the Women's Asian Cup. This is a very fascinating period of this game. We are still early in the second half. 1-1. Australia just trying to gain a bit of control. This game feels like a real tug of war. Really tightly contested match. Not a whole lot in it. Not a lot of space for either team. Claire Hunt to the feet of Fowler. Goes backwards again. Dude, China just executing their game plan so well tonight. Really, Australia really having to lift here tonight, I think. Just to, I mean, we are going to certainly have to be at our best to get through here tonight, I think. But we're doing okay. We're doing all right, man. The effort has certainly been there since the first whistle. You can't fault the effort of the Aussies. Kennedy doing well to win it in midfield. Katrina Gorry down again, just slowly getting back to her feet now, but she has been collected a few times tonight, Gorry. Two big changes to the starting 11 for tonight's game, made by head coach Joe Montemuro. Kyra Cooney cross into the midfield 3. And at the back, Steph Catley returning to the side, the starting 11, in place of Winona Heatley. Ooh, Sam Kerr's got the ball. Will release Ford on the left. Here's a chance. Great run from Kerr. Here's a great chance. Around the keeper. Oh, it's in. What a finish. That is an elite finish from Sam Kerr, and it's 2-1. Absolutely brilliant. We're wondering what it was going to take for Australia to make another breakthrough. And it was clinical play. Brilliant execution there. Fantastic pass from Caitlin Ford. Combining with Sam Kerr. And, dude, I tell you what, that was... I thought the opportunity was gone when she went around the keeper because the angle was tight. But then I forgot who was on the ball. It was Sam Kerr. One of the all-time greats of the Australian women's national team. Well and truly onside. Great run, great pace. Could have maybe centered it early on for Caitlin Torpey. But to round the keeper and the angle that she was on, dude, that is an incredible finish. And as Valhoon says, the GOAT, LFG beta. That is, look at some of those camera angles show it really well. That is an incredible finish. That is such... The difficulty to execute that goal is... The difficulty is so high. Because she's running like... How do I explain this? She's running like away from goal, but like the angle, it's not like she's directed towards goal. She was sent like away from goal. So she's already sprinting at full speed away from the target. And to direct it back on target perfectly. I mean, the gap that she had was so small. It's the sort of finish that only someone like Sam Kerr could make. Wowee. Well, a change has been made for Australia as well. As that goal went in, China, can they respond after conceding once again? And Australia, how do we navigate just at least these next few moments here? Come back, webcam. So it is indeed a change for the Matildas. Let's get our lineup on the screen here. Winona Heatley is on the field. She has replaced Claire Hunt at the back. Claire Hunt working super hard tonight. But Winona Heatley has been very, very good at this tournament. Not surprised to see her introduced into the contest here as we have ticked past the hour mark in this semi-final. Ball bouncing forward. Surely Kerr's offside? Yes. But Australia lead 2-1. Sam Kerr with a fantastic goal. That is just unreal, that finish. I can't get over that finish, man. That's just... What a goal. What a goal, Kerr. So, Caitlin Ford with the first. Sam Kerr with the second. Shots stats on the broadcast. 10 attempts for China, 5 for Australia. Half the attempts. 3 out of 5 shots on target for Australia. There you go. Accuracy's been pretty good tonight. Now, this is going to be fascinating because, like, do we go into defense mode? Do we sit back? There's a long time to go. It's making me a little nervous. There is still a lot of football to be played here at Perth Stadium on this lovely Tuesday night. It looks like a lovely Tuesday night. I'm not sure what the weather is over in Perth. Let's ask my telephone. What's the weather like in Perth right now? Oh, Siri didn't speak, but apparently it's 30 degrees. Celsius. Over in Perth right now, 30 degrees. Goodness me. Okay. Warm evening. Warm evening in Perth. Great turnout at Perth Stadium. Oh boy. That goal was class indeed, eh? Unreal. And yes, I am indeed watching on Paramount Plus. So China, a free kick from inside their own half, sending it long. Man, if we can find a third goal here, if we could go 2 goals clear, that would be enormous. So keep an eye on Australia on the counter-attack, but we've got to stay switched on at the back here. Caitlin Torpy doing the defending at left back. So many players back now for Australia. China with the bulk of possession now. No surprise. The Matildas just defense first. We can even see the wingers, Mary Fowler, Caitlin Ford, have tucked right back as that's a heavy challenge. No foul. Sam Kerr is down and is clearly in pain. Ball sent long up the field. Sam Kerr taking her time to get back to her feet. Is back on her feet now, but it's short. Katrina Gorry seems to be hurt. Caitlin Torpy getting back to her feet. There's left, right, and centre players who appear to be struggling for Australia here. We may require some more substitutions soon. So a lot of defensive work being put in right now. Replay of that challenge on Kerr. Yeah, I tell you what, I probably agree with the call. It was heavy contact in the end, but the China player did certainly make contact with the ball and then made some contact with Kerr, but I don't think it warranted a foul. Good to see that Kerr is all right. Gorry seems to be all right too. 65 minutes played. Australia with a 2-1 lead here in the semi-final. Very, very close now to securing a spot in the final on Saturday evening in Sydney. And it'll be against either Japan or Korea Republic. Semi-final number 2 will be played tomorrow in Sydney. Bit of an advantage, perhaps, for that whoever wins that semi-final, considering that they don't have to travel. Joe Montemurro. Well, what's going on here? Joe Montemurro was suddenly jumping around on the sidelines, seemingly in frustration. Not happy with something. But Australia are getting further up the pitch anyway. But yeah, Joe Montemurro clearly wasn't happy with something there. I'm not sure what it was, though, because we were moving forward all right. Found some space. So Australia have just made one substitution at this stage after 66 minutes. Winona Heatley on to replace Claire Hunt in defence. Cooney Cross trying to drive forward. Australia losing possession. Ooh, that's almost, it looked like a handball, but it was off the boot of Carpenter as well. I'll tell you what, Australia have been much better in this second half. Hey, I mean, defensively, like China, have they had an attempt on goal this second half? Mackenzie Arnold had to make a few saves in that first half, but I don't think she's touched the ball much this second period. Caitlin Ford's away down the left-hand side, trying to get across inside. She takes a heavy tackle, and anyway, it'll be a corner. There was a very robust sliding challenge on Caitlin Ford in the box there, wasn't there? Nice move. Kennedy, great ball in behind. Ford was in. The sliding challenge. Not enough to warrant a foul, in my eyes at least. Despite Caitlin Ford taking a big tumble. But Steph Catley will send in a corner, and to my recollection, this may well be Australia's first corner of the game after 68 minutes of football. Here we go. Come on. Come on, this would be huge here if Australia could find a third goal. Still a lot of football to be played. Outswinger. Delivery's all right. That should be another corner. It is. It was Kerr who I think got the header. It flicked off a defender. But this is a chance here. Another big opportunity for Australia who have the lead and are now really applying some serious pressure. Mary Fowler is going to take this next corner. So it will be another outswinger. Right foot of Mary Fowler. Not many players in the box for Australia, but you'll see the movement from Kerr, Kennedy, Heatley. It's in towards Kerr, but it's away by the defence. Catley will just send it high. And it's a thrown in a good position. So, this is a good little spell for the Matildas. Can we capitalise with a third goal? That is the question. Leo Centers returns to the live chat. If you missed the goal, mate, Sam Kerr with goal number 2 for Australia, and a great goal it was too. An incredible finish from a tight angle. And Australia with a 2-1 lead. But there's still plenty of football to be played. 20 minutes plus injury time remain in Perth. But this second half has been much better. Much, much better. The first half wasn't terrible. But this second half, we've done really well just to take control. I think that's what we wanted. We wanted to see a bit more control. China pressing as Australia have it at the back. Catley's long ball kept in. And a throw in. This is good. This is a really good spell. Possession stats, I'm sure they'll be interesting to look at. Australia surely have had majority of the possession still. Ergamal off for China. The former Central Coast Mariners striker. Played for the Mariners a couple of years ago. Still just the one substitution made by Australia at this stage. Here's an opportunity. Ellie Carpenter just not on the same wavelength as Mary Fowler on that occasion down the right. Oh, that's a great turnover, Carpenter, this occasion. Great run. Beating a few players. Now losing it, though. China are struggling to maintain possession of the ball at this stage. Even when we do lose it. Oh, here's a chance for China. They're in behind. Ball has drifted over the top. Cutting back. Australia getting numbers in behind, and Kennedy with the block. That was dude. That was a huge chance for China. I thought they were away there. They've still got it. Down the right. And it'll be a corner coming up. So, Australia's turn to do a bit of defending. This is real high pressure moments. These are the moments that, Joe Montemuro as head coach and these players have been preparing for many, many months now. All eyes are on this tournament. All the friendlies. Ever since the Olympics campaign, really, which ended in disappointment for Australia. It's been building to this home Asian Cup. Decent corner. Far post header goes wide for China. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this live stream, this live watch along of this AFC Women's Asian Cup semi-final. Australia with a 2-1 lead over China PR. Hit that like button. Support the channel. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being here. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Winona Heatley. Good defending. Again, slightly surprised that Heatley didn't start tonight, man. We know Caitlin Torpey was very good at left back in the quarterfinal. But, yeah, Heatley. She's on the field now. Replaced Claire Hunt around the hour mark. So, Cooney cross. Long ball. Ooh, Kerr just a little bit heavy with a touch to control. But, dude, I tell you what, man, we're looking dangerous when we do go forward. Hey, we do indeed. Beta, you going to do any of the upcoming Socceroos matches? Definitely keen to. Definitely keen to. Yeah, this is our first live stream in some time. But, yeah, we're back, and I'm really keen to get back into it. So, yeah, keep an eye on the channel as well. Definitely keen to, because those games will be huge. Obviously, preparations for the World Cup in a few months' time. Socceroos taking on Curacao and Cameroon in Australia. So it'll be a very fascinating test for the Aussies. And of course, we are very curious to see who's going to be in the squad. Tony Popovic's squad, which we don't know when it's going to come out, but it could be sometime later this week. Very, very curious to see our squad. Socceroos have got some key injuries at the moment. So, final 15 minutes of regular time. We seem to be pretty calm at the moment. Things seem to be going pretty well for Australia, but cannot afford any slip-ups here. Have to maintain this right to the end. Boss versus Mbomo, says Valhoon. Yeah, Geordie Boss, great to see that he's having a really good season over at Feyenoord. He's been doing very well. Beta also says Lucas Harrington had best be at least in the squad. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't be surprised. He's made a good start over at Colorado in the MLS. He scored a goal, I saw the other week. He was very good for Brisbane Roar at the start of this A-League season as well, and deserved his move overseas. And he's playing regular football now for the MLS, for Colorado in the MLS. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him there. He's a future Socceroos star, I think, Lucas Harrington. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the squad. I think it'd be good to see. China are making a couple substitutions here as they attempt to chase an equaliser. Two changes made. Joe Montemuro, how long will he hold off? on making any more changes. Well, not long at all. There you go. As soon as I say that, the broadcast cuts to the sideline where Kyra Cooney-Cross is departing the field of play. Claire Wheeler is coming on. Well done to Kyra Cooney-Cross. Great to see her back starting here for Australia. And Amy Sayer is coming on to replace Mary Fowler. Fowler was good tonight as well. Brilliant setup play for that first goal for Australia. So the Tillies have one more window remaining. One more substitution window remaining in regular time in the second half here, at least. Alrighty. So, updated lineup. Wheeler into midfield. And Amy Sayer playing off that right-hand side. China with an opportunity here. Entering the final third. Again, Australia defensively really good. Great. God, brilliant stuff. Caitlin Torpey. Really tenacious defending. Love to see it. Valhoon says soccer striker situation is interesting and who will be picked. Yes. Yes, certainly. We know Mo Toure, great start at Norwich, but he's been out with injury recently. So yeah, man, it feels like there's a bunch of strikers in the conversation. D'Agostino out with injury, but yeah, I'm fascinated to see who gets picked. Maybe someone like Zach Sapsford could come in for his Socceroos debut. Tanley asks, what's your opinion on Segic switching to Croatia? Yeah, obviously big story over the past week. Disappointing that we won't see him feature for the Socceroos. Of course, that goes without saying. But look, he's obviously made the decision to feature to represent Croatia when it comes to national team football. So he's made that decision. Disappointing that it won't be for the that he won't be starting for the Socceroos. I said, I think sometime last year, I think I said in a video or a live stream that I think Adrian Segic had the potential to be one of Australia's greatest players of all time. I think he's just got an incredible future ahead of him. And wish him all the best in his national team career with Croatia. He's a phenomenal player with enormous potential. Volpato could be in, says Valhoon. Yeah, Tony Popovich talked about it, didn't he? There was a recent press conference. I think it was last week where, he was talking about Volpato. Christian Volpato is a name who... He's a name that's been around conversations regarding Socceroos for many years, but it feels like that it was never really going to happen, that we were going to see Volpato for the Socceroos. I mean, nothing's confirmed yet, but the fact that Tony Popovich was discussing Christian Volpato, and I think he said himself, had meetings with Christian Volpato, or a meeting at least with Volpato, that is, that's big. It's something. It's something. Beta also says, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Tete Yangi gets a look for our lone striker, decent form at the moment in Japan. Yes. Yes, Tete Yangi, brother of Cassini Yangi. Could see it happening. Tanley says, Popovich hinting at a false nine, maybe a change of formation. Yeah, I was intrigued by that as well. I saw that, and that could be fascinating to see as Caitlin Torpey's gotten down the left-hand side. Good covering defending by China. But yeah, just going back to that Socceroos point there, that could be very interesting to see. If, maybe we could see something like, maybe Iran Kunda and, who else is fit, who could play one of those two sort of attacking roles. Yeah, you got a lot of options in that front third still, even with the injuries. Caitlin Torpey trying to hold it in the corner. Trying to keep Australia up this end of the field. She's had a great game, Torpey, once again. Very good. So, I tell you what, I'm a bit surprised the way the second half is going. China were very, very good in the first half. But they haven't really been playing with the same level in the second half. It felt like they were going to really sort of pin us back, but credit to this Aussie team for the resilience that they are showing. 1-1 at the halftime break, now leading 2-1 in the 84th minute. Torpey. Again, looking to get down the left. Oh, that's a great run. What a match. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. And an unfortunate slip there at the end from Caitlin Torpey. Goes out for a goal kick, but that was just a great run again. Phenomenal stuff. Great footwork. And again, just that, like, she just never gives up. That's what we've seen once again tonight. Never giving up. In attack and in defense. We'll give away at the back. Throw in here for Australia in the forward half. Not long to go. Can we see it out? But honestly, we are still getting into some really good positions, so it feels like a third goal is within reach. I mean, considering his form, Juan Mata. He's been so fun to watch this season, hasn't he? If you're a Melbourne Victory fan, I'm sure you've loved watching Juan Mata this season. He's been very, very good. He's been one of the best players in the league, of course. One of the best in the league. Certainly in the conversation for Johnny Warren medal, I think. Leading the assists in the league. Scoring a few very nice goals as well along the way. Juan Mata, it's been great to see him doing very, very well at Melbourne Victory this season. World Cup winner. Australia still have one more substitution window up their sleeve. And still bring on 2 players in that window. If Joe Montemurro wants to. Wouldn't be surprised if they wait for injury time. Really good work across midfield again from Australia. Covering the spaces, applying the pressure. This has been just the effort. Again, I go back to what I was saying earlier. I think the effort tonight from Australia has just been ultra impressive. It hasn't been the perfect performance. There's been, some sloppiness here and there. But this has been a great performance. Another 2 changes being made here by China as they will surely be throwing everything forward here to try and keep their journey in this Asian Cup alive. Betas asks, any thoughts on Cammy Devlin? Just surprised I haven't seen him in anyone's Socceroos squads when he was on fire pre-injury. Yeah, and it was surprising that he didn't get a run that last window at the end of last year. Sam Kerr has been pulled down. Another yellow card. So free kick for Australia. But yeah, going back to that Cammy Devlin conversation. If he's fit, he's going to be in the squad. He's a top player. And yeah, he was enjoying a really good season for Hearts. In Scotland. But as we know, Socceroos have got a lot of good options in that central midfield department with the likes of, Aidan O'Neill and Max Ballard, Patrick Yazbek, Paul Okon-Engsler has had a good season for Sydney FC in the A-League. So, Caitlin Ford has it down the left. Claire Wheeler, are they going to hold it in the corner? I mean, there's still a lot of time to go. Doesn't feel like that we're in that stage yet. Tarnley also says that right wing back role is up for grabs, but who is the best option? Honestly, I think Nathaniel Atkinson. I'd probably go for Atkinson. I think he's been one of City's best players again this year. Watching him tonight for Melbourne City in that win against Sydney FC, I think Nathaniel Atkinson's worth a shout. He's played a lot of football this season. And he's versatile too. He can jump into midfield. So obviously it's disappointing to have Lewis Miller out with injury at the moment. But yeah, I would go Nathaniel Atkinson. He's been playing a lot of football this season and he's been playing well. And he's got experience for the Socceroos. Of course. Caitlin Ford, that's got to be a foul, surely. Caitlin Ford was collected there, but no foul. We are just about to enter the final minute of regular time before injury time. How much will be added on? How much time do we have to hold on for here at the end? 2-1 lead. Goals to Caitlin Ford and Sam Kerr. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch along tonight. Caitlin Ford is sitting on the turf right now. I don't think she's happy with the contact that she received. They're showing us the replays. Oh, dude, that's definitely a foul. That's as clear as it gets. I didn't realize. I didn't realize on initial viewing, the reverse angle shows it. That's a clear foul. Just contact right into the back of the leg of Caitlin Ford, and she's taken out. The free kick's not given, but just got to see it out from here. But Caitlin Ford's currently getting treated. So there's quite a stoppage going on here. So we may well see, 4 or 5 minutes added on. I'd be surprised to see any more than that. Great game from Caitlin Ford tonight. She's been threatening all night. Scored the first goal. Super finish. China equalising from the penalty spot in that first half. Controversial penalty, perhaps. The decision. And then Sam Kerr regaining the lead for Australia with a truly, truly remarkable finish. We will be talking about that goal for some time. That's a real highlight of this tournament from Sam Kerr, the captain of the Matildas, scoring. I mean, she scored so many goals for Australia, but that is up there as one of the best. Again, just the difficulty is so high to score that goal. That's right, Vader, yeah. How stacked is your FOTMob following wise? That's right, yeah. FOTMob, I've also used SofaScore in the past as well. If you guys have any recommendations as well, how do you sort of track your plays and stats and everything? But yeah, FOTMob seems to be all right. All right, Caitlin Ford. Gorry's making a forward run, and she's sending it forward for Kerr. There's 6 minutes added on, by the way. 6 minutes to play. But we have already ticked by one of those minutes. There's 2 players getting ready to come on for Australia as well. Just got to see it out here. So close to qualifying for the final now. Korea Republic and Japan. The other semi-final taking place tomorrow evening. China, again, haven't really managed to create too many opportunities. They have it on the edge of the box now, and Catley finally gets it clear, but China, again in possession. Long-range shot. That wasn't too far away. It was wide in the end. But it is quite remarkable how China have struggled to have as many attempts on goal in the second half. Australia have done such a good job of managing this second half, I think. How long left, Callum? Only a few more minutes now. We've got 6 minutes total added on. Charlie Rule and Emily Van Egmond are coming onto the field. Sam Kerr is departing. No, excuse me, Sam Kerr isn't departing. She's just taking a drink on the sidelines. Apologies. So Alana Kennedy is leaving the field, as is Katrina Gorry. 2 players. Again, it have just been immense tonight. So Charlie Rule will come on. Emily Van Egmond as well, to see out the remaining 3 minutes. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch along tonight. Keep an eye on the channel. We'll have some more coming on the way. Soccer is in action next week. And some huge contests in the A-League on the way as well. Finals are not too far away as well. Been really great to have you guys here. Thanks for everyone jumping in the live chat, saying good day. That's surely went out of play for a throw, no? Well, it's a goal kick anyway, but that I thought that quite clearly went out of play. Anyway, it's a goal kick, so we'll take that. Yeah, that's right, Bader. Yeah, it's funny. China's head coach is Ante Milicic, who's an Aussie. Former coach of the Matildas at one point as well. 2 minutes remain. Australia seem almost playing with 5 players at the back. Charlie Rule's dropping deep into that back line as well. Hacked clear again, this time by Heatley. Ford trying to win it here. Caitlin Ford will get there first. Oh, she's gone for goal. I feel like this is the time where we take it to the corner. We were taking it to the corner in like the 82nd minute. But Caitlin Ford went for goal there. It's given China another opportunity to send it forward. And they've got a throw in the forward half. 1 minute left. 1 minute until Australia secure qualification to the final. It's been a dramatic, tense semi-final. 2-1 lead. Gee whiz. Australian defenders letting that ball bounce as it came forward into the box. It's a throw in a really good position here for China. And there's 30 seconds remaining. Long ball sent in. Away by Torpy, who's been just incredible tonight. China desperately trying to get it in the box. Sam Kerr pushing. That's got to be a throw for Australia. It is. And with 10 seconds to go, surely that's it. What an effort it has been from this Australian team. It hasn't been easy, but the effort's been incredible. And 2 really, really nice goals from Australia tonight. Caitlin Ford and Sam Kerr. Goal kick for China coming up. We have ticked past the 6 minutes. We await the full-time whistle. There it is. Australia through to the final. A intense, very, very intense semi-final tie. But the Matildas come out on top. 2-1 win. Caitlin Ford and Sam Kerr with the goals. A really gutsy performance. And we go through to the final in Sydney this Saturday, taking on either Korea Republic or Japan. That semi-final will be played tomorrow night in Sydney. So the Matildas heading over to Sydney once more for the Asian Cup final. Wow, what an effort. Dude, I tell you what, after that performance, surely we can go all the way and lift the trophy. Huge opportunity. Credit to China. They put up a really strong fight tonight, but Australia go through. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. This was our first live stream in some time, so really thankful for you guys joining us tonight. If you haven't done so already, feel free to hit the like button on the way out and stay subscribed. We'll have some more live streams coming on the way very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.